the Metroplex, where it is windy but a beautiful Thursday afternoon here on the campus of Highland Park High School. And we are here at the prestigious 5-Tool Invitational here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. As we welcome you, the Tigers baseball on Vype Live. This afternoon, your Tigers will take on the home team, the Scots of Highland Park. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you, the Tigers baseball and the 5-Tool Invitational right here on Vype Live. So glad you could join us. My name is Melvin Jones. We are here in the Metroplex for the next 3 games. 6 games in 3 days. And your Tigers are here in one of the most prestigious preseason tournament in the country. Taylor Tracy will get his first start of the season this afternoon as they take on the Highland Park team that just lost about 20 minutes ago. So the Tigers coming in a little bit more fresh than Highland Park. It is windy out here, but a beautiful Thursday here in Dallas. Tigers fans have came all the way up from Dripping Springs as we're about 10 minutes away from first pitch. Here's Scotland Yard, campus of Highland Park. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with pregame festivities. The wind is blowing out. This is a deep ballpark. Tigers, Scots, coming up here in about 10 minutes or so from right here at Highland Park High School. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late-inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school, plus all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
All of us love sports, but not all sports are created equal. College sports have big budgets, dedicated alumni networks, and corporate sponsorships. Professional sports have even deeper pockets, millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Texas high school sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Texas. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
There are no words to describe it. The isolation, the boredom, the loneliness. If you're wondering where your teenage son or daughter's spirit went, you're hardly alone. The past year has been devastating, especially for them. But here's the good news. They might just find it again, playing high school sports. Workouts that stimulate, teammates and coaches that care, the sense of belonging so many of us have been missing lately. That's what school sports are all about. The sense of achievement is real, and the camaraderie is hard to beat. Coping with uncertainty is difficult, but school sports can help the teenagers in your family start feeling like themselves again. Encourage them to give it a try. High school sports, it's so much more than a game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
It's been a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 826,000 high school student athletes in Texas have one last request.
Please, set an example.
Disorderly fan conduct at high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Texas high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Are you worried how 2020 has impacted your teen's social development? We are too. Want to know what might help? Participating in the performing arts in high school. It's been hard being a teenager recently. Hard to cope, hard to keep up, hard not to feel like you're missing out. Everything's different and nobody knows what's next. Encouraging your son or daughter to participate in performing arts can really help. Those are high school activities like band, orchestra, choir, theater, speech, and debate. They'll make new friends, develop confidence, and feel the satisfaction of being part of a team. Participation in the performing arts aren't a cure-all, and they certainly won't make the pandemic go away. But they will make the teenagers in your family feel like they're part of something special. This message presented by the NFHS and the Texas University Interscholastic League.
Welcome back to Highland Park High School. Scotland Yard is the very first game for us here in the 2025 5-2 Invitational right here on Vype Live. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for your Tigers. Leading off and pitching this afternoon, senior Taylor Tracy. Batting second, playing out in right field, number 15, Jason Steele. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 16, Dom Hurley. Batting cleanup and playing at second base, number 4, Trey Perry. His bat has been on fire to start the season. Batting fifth, playing at short, number 3, Connor Helms. Batting sixth, playing in his usual third base, number 12, Tristan Chahanowicz. Batting seventh, playing at first, number 2, Gavin Hull. Batting 8, playing out in left today, number 9, Parker Saucy. And batting 9th, behind home plate, number 6, Asher Watts. As you see both head coaches at the home plate, including for the 18th year as your head coach of the Dripping Spring Tigers, Chris Payne. It is windy, but it is gorgeous. And as usual, folks, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me this afternoon here in Dallas. 6 games, 3 days. As if I got the signals correct, there will be no national anthem. I believe. Again, coming up in the top half for the first, Taylor Tracy, Jason Steele, Dom Hurley. First 3 hitters for the Tigers today. And the Scots take the field. As Taylor is ready to come up. As I have no first names for the players from Highland Park, but Gahagan is the pitcher for the team in blue. A lefty is ready to start this day off, this afternoon off, as the Scots did play before. There's a lot of professional scouts here in the stadium this afternoon. Saw one from the Royals here. As this is a huge tournament with a lot of big-time teams from the country. And here is Taylor Tracy walking up to start the top of the first. Taylor has reached base in both games every single time. 6 for 6 for the season thus far, including 2 home runs. And at 12:39 p.m. Central Standard Time, Gahagan gets in there, strike 1 to Taylor Tracy. 0-1 to Taylor. Jason Steele on deck. Gahagan fires. That's inside, ball 1. 1-1 to Taylor. Tigers this afternoon, road grays, burgundy lettering, Tigers across the chest. 325 to the left field pole. 315 to the right field pole. The 1-1 from Gahagan. Taylor gets brushed back a bit. 2-1 to Taylor Tracy. As that's the second time I've seen the umpire walk up to say something to Taylor. I'm not for sure. The 2-1 and Gahagan fires. Taylor swings and misses for strike 2. Evens up the count 2-2. I am on top of the press box, so it's a bit warmer and a bit windier. The 2-2 from Gahagan. Taylor floats one out in center field, and right there and grabbing it for the first out is Curtis. 1 gone here in the Tigers first. Here's Jason. Steele last game went 0 for 4, but he did notch his first RBI as a Tiger. As Gahagan fires the first pitch, and Jason gets hit. And the first base runner of the afternoon for the Tigers is on. 1 on, 1 out for Dom. Dom on Monday night went 2 for 2, including a game-tying home run in the 6th. 1 on, 1 out. Gahagan fires. Dom looks at strike 1. Delayed call, but 0-1 count to Dom Hurley. – Hagen checks first, does it again, fires. 1-1. Aces on the board for Dom Hurley. Trey Perry is on deck. Scoreless, top of the first, 1 on, 1 out. The 1-1 count to Dom. Hagen fires, and that is high and inside. They're going to call that one a strike. 1-2 now to Dom Hurley. And Hagen checks back at first, does it again. Fires. That one is high, 2-2. And Jason just stays at first. Dom is really ready. Hagen is now. He checks over at Jason a couple of times. He fires. That one brushes Dom back, full count. And here's the payoff pitch from Gahagan. He fires. And that is, he punches Dom out. First out, first strikeout of the game for Gahagan. I didn't like that one, nonetheless. 2 gone here in the Tigers' first. Here's Trey. Trey on Monday night, 4 for 4, 4 singles. Gahagan fires. Trey looks at strike 1. 0-1 count to Trey Perry. And the 0-1. Ball 1 to Trey. Connor Helms on deck. 1 on, 2 outs. Top of the first. And Gahagan fires. Trey floats 1. Pass, then called foul. Late call by the home plate umpire. Count remains 1-2. Trey steps back in, ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Jason still at first. Gahagan fires. Dom chops 1 foul to the Scots dugout. And the count remains 1-2. And Gahagan ready to go. He fires 1-2. Trey chops 1 foul again. Trey Perry has had a fantastic start to 2025 and a fantastic at bat to begin this ball game. One and 2 to Trey. Gahagan checks over at first again. He fires. Trey, nice eye, deuces to Trey Perry. And Gahagan fires 2-2. Trey swings and misses. And Gahagan strikes out the final 2 Tigers to get out of the first. Tigers lead 1. Scoreless as we go to the bottom of the first. Taylor Tracy makes his 2025 debut on the bump. You're watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Bottom of the first. And as you can tell, Taylor Tracy taking his warm-up pitches. 2025 debut for Taylor. Monday night, Coach Payne threw 7 pitchers. Let's see how we approach this Invitational today. It was actually 8 pitchers as the game went in the extras. Shout out to all the Tigers fans making that trip up here to the Metroplex. I think the majority of us got in at around 10:30 last night. Had some traffic issues on 35, but we are here. We are ready. 2 games today. We will head to Jesuit Prep for 5 o'clock first pitch on this afternoon. Taylor is ready. Here's Flashnick to start off the day for the Scots. Lefty versus lefty. To start off the Scots batting, and that's high and inside. 1-0 to Flashnick. The 1-0 from Taylor. And Flashnick fouls one off the neck. Strike 1. Taylor's velocity seemed like it has improved during the offseason. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That was some heat from Taylor Tracy. A ball and 2 strikes now to Flashnick. Taylor's looking for his first strikeout of 2025. The 1-2. Taylor fires high and upstairs. 2-2. The wind's starting to increase just a bit. The 2-2 from Taylor. He's ready to go. He fires. And he got him. Got him looking. First strikeout for Taylor Tracy. First out of the first inning. 1 gone. Here's True. And Taylor, his first pitch. True chased it. Strike 1. Hutchinson on deck for the Scots. Taylor fires. That was from speed, but that's low and inside. 1-1 to True. Aces on the board for True. Taylor winds up, fires. Little off speed, but that was outside. 2-1 to True. Taylor wastes no time. Fires outside. 3-1. And Taylor now a pitch away from giving up his first walk of the season. Taylor Tracy fires. True, foul, tip, full count now on the left fielder. Here comes the payoff from Taylor. And he fires. And it is a walk. First base run of the afternoon for the Scots. First walk of the game for Taylor. 1 on, 1 out for Hutchinson.
Next up for the Scots, third baseman, number 8, Isaac Hutchinson.
Taylor with a look over at first. Does it again. Does it the third time. And he fires his first pitch. And that missed, ball 1. 1-0 count to Hutchison. The designated hitter, Schultz, on deck for the Scots. 1-0 count to Hutchison. Taylor fires. Hutchison didn't hold up, I don't believe. I think let's say ball 2. So a 2-0 count. And Taylor's even arguing that he went around. Second base umpire disagrees, so 2-0 to Hutchison. Taylor fires. Hutchison chased and got dusted. Strike 1. 2-1 count to Hutchison. Two-one count. Taylor fires. And that is belt line. Now, last inning, he gave that one to Hagan. Did not give that to Taylor. 3 balls and a strike now to Hutchison. See if Taylor give him one to hit. Taylor fires. He did, and he fouled it off, so full count now to Hutchison. Taylor's ready to go. The payoff. And he missed. So Taylor Tracy has walked back-to-back hitters. And here is the designator hitter, Schultz. Two on, 1 out. Here in the Scots first. Scoreless. Taylor with 2 looks over at second. He fires. That is inside, ball 1. One and 0 to Schultz. Taylor. The 1-0. Schultz hits one. Nice stab there by Gavin for the second out. Gavin Hull with the nice defense there. 2 gone. Runners do advance to second and third, respectively. Here's the second baseman pitcher.
Now batting for the Scots, second baseman, number 21, Ethan, pitcher.
And now Taylor with the open base at first. Full rotation coming up. And Taylor fires, and pitcher fouls one to the backstop, 0-1. The 0-1, the pitcher. Taylor. Full wind-up, fires. Outside, that gets away from Watts. Watts fires over. Taylor got him. Great defense. Off of the pass ball, Tigers was able to tag out True at home, and that's the end of the first for the Scots. Connor, TC, Gavin, all coming up in the Tigers' second. No score from Highland Park. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Texas. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Top of the second, Connor Helms leads it off for the Tigers. Connor had an 0 for 5 night against Stony Point on Monday night. Gahagan fires his first pitch. Connor looks at strike one. 0-1 count to Connor. TC is on deck. Gahagan fires. That's high for ball one. 1-1 now to Connor. Gahagan fires. Connor fouls one to the backstop. 1-2. Some nice contact there by Connor. Ball and 2 strikes now to Connor Helms. And Gahagan fires. Connor, nice eye, 2-2. Here's a 2-2 from Gahagan. He fires. Connor pops one really, really high. And the first baseman, Siegler, called everyone off and grabs it for the first out of the inning. Here comes TC.
Next up, first baseman, number 2, Gavin Hole.
They got the order on. TC is actually at the plate. And strike one to Janowicz. TC went 0 for 3 the other night. He was hit by a pitch as well. And Gahagan fires. TC swings at that one. Strike 2. So an 0-2 count to Janowicz. Gahagan fires. TC floats one in the right field, but grabbing it is Nowick for the second out of the inning. 2 gone. Here's Gavin.
Now batting first baseman, Gavin Hole.
Gavin went 0 for 4 against Stony Point. He drew a walk. Let's see if Gavin can get on base. Gahagan is ready. He fires. And that is inside, ball 1 to Gavin Hole. Parker Saucy on deck. Gahagan fires. Outside, 2-0 to Gavin. The 2-0 from Gahagan. And 3 balls, no strike to Gavin Hole. Let's see if Gavin can reach base. And Gahagan winds and fires. And that is high. 4-pitch walk for Gavin Hole. First walk of the game for Gahagan. 1 on, 2 outs. Here's Parker. Parker came in late on Monday night as the first pitch is a ball, 1-0. Parker did have a single in the 6th inning of that game. 1-0 count to Parker. Gahagan fires. Strike 1. 1-1 now to Parker. Asher Watts is on deck. 1-1 to Parker. Gahagan fires. Parker chased it. Strike two. Ball and 2 strikes now to Parker Saucy. 1 on, 2 outs. Here in the Tigers' second. Gahagan fires. And that miss deuces for Parker. And Gahagan fires. That is upstairs. Full count now to Parker. Gahagan's ready to go with the payoff. Parker chops one to the third base side, and the count remains full. Full count to Parker. 1 on, 2 outs. The payoff pitch. Parker hits one right to the second baseman pitcher, and he's able to retire Parker Saucy to get out of the inning. Tigers lead 1, and it's still scoreless as we played an inning and a half. Pitcher Siegler and Curtis due up in the home half of the second for the Scots. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
There are no words to describe it. The isolation, the boredom, the loneliness. If you're wondering where your teenage son or daughter's spirit went, you're hardly alone. The past year has been devastating, especially for them. But here's the good news. They might just find it again, playing high school sports. Workouts that stimulate, teammates and coaches that care, the sense of belonging so many of us have been missing lately. That's what school sports are all about. The sense of achievement is real, and the camaraderie is hard to beat. Coping with uncertainty is difficult, but school sports can help the teenagers in your family start feeling like themselves again. Encourage them to give it a try. High school sports, it's so much more than a game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Bottom of the second. Taylor Tracy back in for his second inning of work. And the second baseman pitcher comes back to the batter's box. Still scoreless, still without a hit, still without an error thus far in this game. And Taylor settling in on the bump. And the first pitch of the second inning goes down to strike one for Taylor Tracy. Pitcher steps back in. Taylor is ready. The 0-1. And pitcher did not hold up strike two. So an 0-2 count to pitcher. Taylor Tracy looking for his second strikeout of the game thus far. And the 0-2, Taylor fires outside 1-2. Taylor shook off the first two pitches like this one. The 1-2. Got him! Second strikeout of the afternoon for Taylor Tracy. One gone in the second. And here's a first baseman, Siegler. No one on, one out. And the Scots second. Taylor fires. Siegler fouls one into the streets. And it does hit the street. Make sure no cars got in the way. 0-1 to Siegler. Center fielder Curtis on deck for the Scots. The 0-1. Siegler chased it. 0-2. Beautiful neighborhood where Highland Park resides. The 0-2. Taylor winds up, fires. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Taylor Tracy. 2 gone in the second. And here's Curtis.
Next up for Scott's center fielder, number 10, Anderson Curtis.
So 3 strikeouts so far for Taylor Tracy. And the first pitch over the head of Curtis, ball 1. Taylor shakes off the first 3 pitches that time. He fires. That again goes over the head of Curtis, 2-0. Taylor, the 2-0. And strike 1. Catches the outside corner. And a 2-1 count to Curtis. Right fielder Nowak on deck. Taylor fires. Same pitch, same location, same result. Strike 2. Deuces to Curtis. Taylor looking to strike out the side. The 2-2. He fires, and he does just that. Taylor Tracy strikes out the side. Scots go down in order. No one on. No one left on. No runs, no hits, no errors. Replay 2. Still scoreless here in Dallas. Watts, Taylor, Jason, all due up for the Tigers in the 3rd. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
It's been a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 826,000 high school student athletes in Texas have one last request.
Please, set an example.
Disorderly fan conduct at high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Texas high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Top 3rd now, still scoreless. And the number 9 hitter in the Tigers order, Asher Watts, comes to the plate to lead off the 3rd. And Gahagan fires. And Watts swung and missed. Strike 1. Watts with no hits on the season thus far. Only his 2nd start. That one catches the inside corner for strike 2. So Watts quickly down 0-2 in the count. And Gahagan fires. Watts swings and misses and goes down, strike 3. 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Gahagan. 1 gone here in the 3rd. And here's Taylor. Taylor's 0 for 1 for the afternoon, recording his first out of the season. Gahagan fires. Taylor looks at ball 1. That was close. But we'll take it. 1-0 count to Taylor Tracy. Taylor steps back in. Gahagan fires. Taylor looks. That time strike 1. Aces on the board for Taylor. Jason Steele is on deck. And Gahagan, the 1-1. Taylor chased it. Strike 2. 1-2 now. to Taylor Tracy. Taylor's ready. So is Gahagan. The 1-2. And Taylor hits one directly to the first baseman, Siegler. And he gets puts out for the second out of the inning. Here's Steele. Steele was hit back in the first. Steele calls for time, as him and Coach Payne will have a conversation.
Now batting for the Tigers, right field, number 15, Jason Steele.
And Steele steps back in. Gahagan fires. Jason looks at strike one. Dom Hurley's on deck. Jason back in the box. Gahagan fires. Steele floats one. Right field. It's going to be a tough play. Not tough enough as Nowak was able to retire Jason. And the Tigers go out in order for the first time today. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. We played 2.5. Still scoreless. 8-9-1 coming up for the Scots. Nowak, Yoder, and Flashnick, as we are still scoreless as we head to the bottom of the third. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
Are you worried how 2020 has impacted your teen's social development? We are too. Want to know what might help? Participating in the performing arts in high school. It's been hard being a teenager recently. Hard to cope, hard to keep up, hard not to feel like you're missing out. Everything's different and nobody knows what's next. Encouraging your son or daughter to participate in performing arts can really help. Those are high school activities like band, orchestra, choir, theater, speech, and debate. They'll make new friends, develop confidence, and feel the satisfaction of being part of a team. Participation in the performing arts aren't a cure-all, and they certainly won't make the pandemic go away. But they will make the teenagers in your family feel like they're part of something special. This message presented by the NFHS and the Texas University Interscholastic League.
8-9-1 coming up for the Scots here in the bottom of the third. As the right fielder, Nowak begins the third, and that pitch goes inside, ball one, as Taylor's in for his third inning of work. And Taylor with the 1-0, fires. Strike one to Nowak. Nowak ended the Tigers' third off of a catch in right field. And the 1-1 from Taylor. Nowak floats one. That's right center. And right there underneath it is Parker Salsi for the, Jason Steele for the first out. So Steele records the out. One gone here in the third. Here's Yoder.
Number 19, Parker Yoder.
Yoder, the number 9 hitter in the Scots order. Taylor fires. Yoder foul tips it to the backstop. 0-1. The 0-1. Taylor fires. Yoder chased it. Strike two. Taylor a pitch away from his 5th strikeout of the afternoon. The 0-2. Taylor winds up, fires, and that's outside. 1-2 now. Top of the order, and Flashnick on deck for the Scots. Taylor, the 1-2, and that's fouled off to his own dugout. Count remains 1-2. Wind is still blowing, but not as hard as it was even 15 minutes ago. Could be an advantage later on. The 1-2 from Taylor. And that's floated high. Jason's going to have a tough time grabbing it, but he does grab it in foul territory, and the Scots go down in order. 1, 2. Nope. Second out. Getting a little ahead of myself. We are back to the top of the order in Flashnick.
Next up is Scott shortstop. Number 2, Cole Flashnick.
Flashnick struck out to begin the game. Taylor fires. Flashnick looks at strike one. Jason Steele has recorded both outs this inning. The 0-1 to Flashnick. Taylor fires. That is high for ball one. Two pretty good pitchers showing their skills thus far in this opening game for the Tigers. Second game for the Scots. Taylor fires, and that is outside. Watts tried to frame it, but it is ball two. Here's a 2-1 from Taylor. And that is well inside. Brushed him back, 3-1. The 3-1. Taylor fires. Foul tip to the backstop. Full count now to Flashnick. So Taylor again, a pitch away from either his third walk or his fifth strikeout. And here's the payoff coming from Taylor. He fires. And that's fouled off of the net. Count remains full. The payoff from Taylor. God, nope, foul tipped. But he had Flashnick chasing. Taylor has settled down after a little rocky first, just a little bit. The payoff from Taylor. And that's fouled again, this time over the Tigers dugout. Count remains full. Pretty good at bat for Flashnick. Taylor shakes off this pitch. He liked this one. The payoff. And that's upstairs, ball four. Third walk of the afternoon for Taylor Tracy. Flashnick on for the first time today. And here's the left fielder, True. True drew a walk back in the first and got picked off after the wild pitch at home. 1 on, 2 outs in the Scots' third. Taylor fires. True chased. Strike one. Taylor goes back to first. Let Flashnick know. He knows he's there. The 0-1 upcoming from Taylor. Taylor fires. And that was low for ball one, so 1-1 to True. Taylor, after a long look at first, fires. And that was high and inside for ball two. Taylor goes back to first again. Flashnick slides in safely. And the 2-1 from Taylor. Got in there for strike 2. So deuces now to True. Two balls and 2 strikes. 2 gone, 1 on. Here in the third. And Taylor fires. And that's floated into the outfield. First hit of the game for either team. So now the Scots now are runners at the corners. 2 out single for True. Here's Hutchinson. Runners at the corners. 2 down. And the first run of the game, 90 feet away. Hutchinson also drew a walk in the first, but was stranded off the pickoff. And Taylor's first pitch. Hutchinson looks at strike 1. 0-1 count to the third baseman. The 0-1. Taylor with a long look at first. Does it again. Does it the third time. He fires. And that's upstairs, ball 1. 1-1 to Hutchinson. One and one. Taylor looks over at first. Now he's ready. He fires. And that's floating in the outfield. But calling everyone off and grabbing it was Connor Helms. And that's going to be the end of the third. Scots lead 2. And it's still scoreless as we go to the top of the fourth. Dom, Trey, Connor, all coming up for the Tigers in the 4th inning. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
Meet Josh.
Hi, everybody.
Josh is a high school basketball player, solid shooter, great teammate.
Hey, don't forget my tenacious D.
And he's my son.
Oh.
So, what does Josh do to be the best basketball player he can be?
I play tennis.
Studies show that student athletes here in Texas who play more than one high school sport are more likely to excel. Tennis does more than improve Josh's conditioning. It gives him a fresh competitive outlet, reduces the risk of injury by cross-training, and introduces him to different coaching techniques and new friends.
Don't get me wrong, hoops are my first love. Tennis just gives me a little break.
So when the new season begins, Josh isn't burned out on basketball. He's eager to play. And you can see the difference in his game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Dom Hurley leads off the 4th for the Tigers. And that pitch goes to the backstop, ball 1. I thought Dom was hit for a minute. 1-0 count to Dom as we start the 4th inning. Highland Park High School. This field has some history. It's where Clayton Kershaw went to high school. And that is ball 2 by Gahagan. So a 2-0 count to Dom Hurley. Gahagan fires. Dom checked his swing, but they say he went around. Strike 1. 2-1 count to Dom Hurley. Trey Perry's on deck. Gahagan winds, fires, and that is inside. 3-1 to Dom. Dom struck out back in the first. And Gahagan winds and fires. Dom chops one. tough play is going to be. Dom is put out. That was a really good play by Flashnick to get Dom Hurley at first. One gone here in the fourth. Here's Trey. Trey's 0 for 1. Also striking out in the first. And Hagen winds, fires. That was a nice curveball, strike one. Wow. 0-1 count to Trey. Connor Helms is on deck. Gahagan fires. Strike two. 0-2 to Trey. Two powerhouse teams here in the state of Texas. Going mano-y-mano. Trey hits one. And Flashnick again is there. Flashnick is able to put Trey away. 2 down in the fourth. Here's Connor. Connor 0 for 1. Pop one to first base in foul territory to lead off the second. Gahagan fires. Dom chased it, strike one. 0-1 count to Connor Helms. TC is on deck. Connor that time got out of the way. 1-1. And that's Gahagan. Fires. Upstairs, ball 2. So Connor could get on right now. We'll bring up TC. Gahagan fires. And that again upstairs and outside. 3 balls in the strike to Connor Helms. Gahagan fires. And that is ball 4. And Connor is on for the first time today. Second walk given up by Gahagan. Here's TC. TC line one out the right. His first at bat. One on, 2 outs. Here in the Tigers' 4. Gahagan fires, and that is upstairs. Ball 1 to TC. Gavin Holt is on deck. Parker Saucy in the hole. Now we're going to have a mound visit from the Scots. Don't forget, folks, 5 o'clock today, second game of the day. This time, Jesuit Prep. 4:50 Tigers pregame, and then first pitch 5 o'clock right here on Vype Live. First of 6 on the weekend for the Tigers. Tigers back home next weekend. Keek Tuck Invitational. And the umpires coming to break it up as TC talked to Coach Payne. Again, a little strategy going on. Tigers have yet to get a hit. Be fantastic for TC to get one right now. As Gahagan fires. TC chased it. Strike one. Gahagan fires. TC again. That was the same pitch. Looked like a changeup from up here. Deuces for TC. And Gahagan fires. Strike 3. TC chased them all. Tigers still without a hit. They leave one on. And at the end of 3.5, we remain scoreless. As Schultz, pitcher, Siegler all coming up for the Scots in the bottom of the fourth. We are halfway done here in game number 1 for the Tigers here at the 5-Tool Invitational. You're watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
Are you worried how 2020 has impacted your teen's social development? We are too. Want to know what might help? Participating in the performing arts in high school. It's been hard being a teenager recently. Hard to cope, hard to keep up, hard not to feel like you're missing out. Everything's different and nobody knows what's next. Encouraging your son or daughter to participate in performing arts can really help. Those are high school activities like band, orchestra, choir, theater, speech, and debate. They'll make new friends, develop confidence, and feel the satisfaction of being part of a team. Participation in the performing arts aren't a cure-all, and they certainly won't make the pandemic go away, but they will make the teenagers in your family feel like they're part of something special. This message presented by the NFHS and the Texas University Interscholastic League.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Texas. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Braden Hands in, the senior, his first appearance on the bump for the Tigers in 25, and that first pitch is hit. It's going to be hard for Gavin to get over there, but Gavin with a backhand grab for the first out of this 4th inning. One down, and here is pitcher.
Next up, second baseman, number 21, Ethan Pitcher.
Pitcher is 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. Hands fires. Pitcher fouls one off to the backstop. Strike 1. So the only change thus far in the outfield, Taylor Tracy takes over for Harrison Vallo. Taylor today, 3 innings pitch, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 1 hit. Hands again delivers, and pitcher fouls one off. Strike 2. So Braden now pitch away from his first K of the season. And Brady winds up, fires. And pitcher again fouls one off. Pretty good outing for Taylor. First innings of the season. Still get 4 strikeouts out of it. And Hands goes low. 1-2 now to pitcher. Braden winds, fires, outside, 2-2. Siegler, the first baseman, is on deck for the Scots. And Braden fires, got him! First strikeout of the season for Braden Hands. 2 gone here in the 4th. Here's Siegler. Siegler's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Back in the 2nd. Braden fires, and that is just outside for ball 1. Braden winds, fires. Low and outside that time, 2-0. The 2-0. That's chopped. Just past TC for a base hit. 2-out single for Siegler. Second hit of the day for the Scots. Here's the center fielder, Curtis. Curtis 0 for 1 with the strikeout. Braden checks back at first. He's ready to go. He fires. And that is high enough and outside for ball 1. And Braden fires. That's foul tipped. Evens up the count 1-1. Braden tosses back to first. And Gavin stabs at it. One and one to Curtis. Braden fires. Curtis hits one, flies one deep, and that is going to sail foul. Very longest foul in Curtis's career. As that went just to the right of the foul pole. So ball and 2 strikes now to the center fielder. See if Brady can get out this inning. Braden shakes off the first couple, and he likes this one. The 1-2 to Curtis. Curtis flies one. That is high. And that's going to be waved off by everyone but Connor Helms. And Connor with his second put out of the game. And the Scots again leave one stranded. A hit, and that's all for Highland Park. We are still scoreless as we go to the 5th inning. Gavin, Parker, Asher, all due up in the 5th for the Tigers. Still scoreless. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Top of the 5th, Gavin Hole to lead it off for the Tigers. Still scoreless here in the 5th. Gavin drew a walk back in the 2nd. And Gavin looks at ball 1. Well, you've seen some excellent pitching this afternoon by both teams. Gavin looks at ball number 2. Yoder was set up way outside. So 2 quick balls to Gavin. Gavin hits one up the middle, but right there is pitcher, and pitcher has another put, and that goes over the head. It seemed routine, but not routine enough. E4 on the play, first error of the afternoon for the Scots. Here's Parker. One on, no outs. Gavin's dancing on first. Parker showing bunt. Parker lays down a bunt, foul. 0-1 to Parker. Asher Watts is on deck. No score here in the top of the 5th. The Tigers have one on, no outs. And Parker again shows bunt, pulls back. Ball 1. One and one to Parker. Gahagan fires. Parker lays down a gorgeous one as Gavin hustles. And the throw to first is right there for the out. Sack bunt. Parker saucy. But it moves over Gavin Hole. One on, one out. Here's Asher. Asher Watts 0 from 1. Striking out in the 3rd. As Gahagan looks back at second, does it again, fires. And that is ball 1 to Asher Watts. It's actually the first time the Tigers have advanced past first all game long. Gavin Hole standing at second. Gahagan's ready to go to lefty. And Gahagan throws it back to second, and Gavin slides in safely. Taylor Tracy's on deck. Scoreless. Tigers doing some work here in the 5th. And Gahagan fires. That is inside. They called a strike. And the 1-1 count to Asher Watts. Aces on the board. I thought that was a little too inside for a strike. Nonetheless, 1-1 to Asher Watts. And again, Gahagan steps off the rubber. He's done it twice now. Gavin dancing at second. Gahagan looks like he's ready to go. And he fires. And that goes over the head of the catcher. Gavin's going to advance to third. And a go-ahead run 90 feet away for the Tigers. 2-1 count to Asher Watts. A deep fly will bring home Gavin. Gahagan, 2-1. And again, steps off the rubber. And Gahagan did it again. 4th time this at bat, he's done that. The 2-1. And Asher had a nice cut, but fouls it to the backstop. Count goes to 2-2. Gahagan is ready to go. So is Asher. The 2-2. And that is high, full count to Asher. Asher's ready to go. So is Gahagan. The payoff. And that is strike 3. Caught him looking. That looked a little upstairs. But that is the 5th strikeout for Gahagan today. 2 gone. And here's Taylor. Taylor's 0 for 2 for the afternoon. After starting the season 6 for 6. Shout out to everyone watching and listening. Shout out to my fiance who is at work listening to the game. Gavin Holt stands at third. Taylor Tracy up to bat. Taylor's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. And Gahagan fires, and that's outside. 1-0 to Taylor Tracy. Gahagan fires. Taylor chased it upstairs, strike one. 1-1 to Taylor Tracy. Gahagan is ready to go. He fires. And that hit Taylor. And they say they hit it. They sending Gavin back to third. So there's a hit batsman. The ball got away. And Coach Payne's going to argue that the ball did get away. That should be a run scored. And now, what's going to be the call? Looks like they're changing pitchers. As Bird comes on, trying to figure out what's going on. Did the run score or not? I believe Gavin's going to be sent back to third. That's going to bring up Jason Steele. As it will be runners at the corner, still 2 outs. Bird, another lefty for the Scots. Comes in. 2 on, 2 out here in the 5th. Gahagan went 4 2/3. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, did not give up a hit. Jason Steele can come up huge here. Runners at the corners. That pitching change came so quick. I didn't know what was going on. That one's well outside. Ball 1 to Steele. Dom Hurley's on deck. Bird fires in 1-0. Taylor takes off, and Taylor's going to get the second safely. Tigers now with runners at second and third. 2 outs. And the 2-0 count. to Steele. Bird fires. Steele flies one and is fouled and out of play. Strike one. So 2 balls and a strike now to Jason Steele. Jason could come up huge right here. Bird. Full rotation fires, and that is inside. 3-1 to Jason Steele. And now Coach Payne is asking, I don't know if he's asking for a hit batsman or it is just not a hit batsman. So a 3-1 count to Steele. First base is open. Runners at second and third. 2 gone. Bird fires. And Steele takes one. Bases full of Tigers. And here comes Dom Hurley. Dom today 0 for 2. Tigers still without a hit. Bird fires. High and outside. Ball 1. There is activity going on in both pens. Bird fires. Dom fouls one off the net. Strike 1. Trey Perry's on deck. 1-1 count to Dom Hurley. Bird fires, and that is well outside. 2-1 to Dom Hurley. Two and 1. Bird fires. Dom flies one in the left. It is deep. It is a grand slam. Dom Hurley. Dom Hurley does it for a second game in a row. First hit of the game for the Tigers, a grand slam. And it is 4-0 Tigers. Second time in 2 games, Dom Hurley has a knock. Here's Trey. No one on, 2 outs. Bird goes outside. 1-0 to Trey Perry. And Bird fires. Trey chased it. Strike 1. The 1-1. Trey fouls one off the net. Strike 2. Connor Helms on deck. Tigers with 4 home runs this season. 2 from Taylor Tracy, 2 from Dom Hurley. The 1-2 upcoming from Bird. Bird fires. And that is inside, deuces to Trey. And that's outside, full count to Trey. So Gahagan, who had pitched masterfully today, gave up no hits in 4 2/3. Trey hits one right field, and that's going to be caught sliding by Nowak to end the inning. But Dom Hurley, grand slam to give the Tigers a 4-0 lead. Time to stretch here at Highland Park. Nowak, Yoder, and then the top of the order in Flashnick due up for the Scots. 4-0 Tigers. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
All of us love sports, but not all sports are created equal. College sports have big budgets, dedicated alumni networks, and corporate sponsorships. Professional sports have even deeper pockets, millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Texas high school sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Braden Hands in for his second inning of work. Tigers lead 4-0 here in the bottom of the fifth. Welcome back to Dallas, Texas, and Highland Park High School. Melvin Jones here with you. Tigers baseball on Vype Live and the 2025 5-Tool Invitational. And the first pitch from Braden is strike one. As Richie comes in the 8-hole, Braden, ball one. That looked like the same pitch. So Richie batting in the 8-hole, pinch hitting. Braden, the 1-1, fires. And that is low and inside, 2-1. The 2-1 coming up for Braden, and Richie swings and misses as the ball drills out to the backstop, 2-2 to Richie. So Braden's looking for his second strikeout of the afternoon. And Braden winds up, fires. That's chopped. And Gavin goes right through his legs for a base hit. Gavin had it. They're going to call that one E3. First error of the game for the Tigers.
Next up, catcher number 19, Parker Yoder.
Here's Yoder. 1 on, 1 out. No out, excuse me. As Richie slides in. Braden fires. Yoder foul tips it. Four runs off of 1 hit, 1 error for the Tigers. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Scots. Top of the order and Flashnick in the on-deck circle. And Braden, again, throws over the first. Richie slides in. Yoder showing bunt. Pulls back. Runner takes off. And the stolen base by Richie is a nice jump. Trey got there in time. But Richie's showing off some speed. Oh, and 2 now to Yoder. Braden fires. Got him. Second strikeout for Braden Hands. 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the top of the order in Flashnick. Starting to get a little warm up here. Wind has died down just a bit. But on top of this press box, getting warm. See people who brought jackets starting to take them off. Gorgeous Thursday in the Metroplex. Flashnick 0 for 1. Drew a walk back in the 3rd. Struck out to lead off the game. Braden fires. Flashnick hits one right to Gavin. Gavin this time was able to control it and get it unassisted for the second out of this 5th inning. 2 gone, and here's True. True's 1 for 1. Had a single back in the 3rd. Drew a walk back in the 1st. And Braden fires. Strike 1. The 0-1 for Braden Hans. And that's popped up. And underneath it is going to be Trey Perry. And Trey retires True. Scots leave one on once again. 4-0 Tigers as we go to the top of the 6th. Connor Helms, TC, Gavin Hole, all coming up for the Tigers in the 6th inning. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
There are no words to describe it. The isolation, the boredom, the loneliness. If you're wondering where your teenage son or daughter's spirit went, you're hardly alone. The past year has been devastating, especially for them. But here's the good news. They might just find it again, playing high school sports. Workouts that stimulate, teammates and coaches that care, the sense of belonging so many of us have been missing lately. That's what school sports are all about. The sense of achievement is real, and the camaraderie is hard to beat. Coping with uncertainty is difficult, but school sports can help the teenagers in your family start feeling like themselves again. Encourage them to give it a try. High school sports, it's so much more than a game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Texas.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
So another pitching change for the Scots as Madison now on the bump for the home team. 4-0 Tigers here in the top of the 6th. And Connor Helms will lead us off here in the 6th inning. Connor this afternoon, 0 for 1. Popped out to first base in the second, drew a walk in the fourth. That's Madison. Fires. Connor hits one right to pitcher, and pitcher is able to retire Connor. One gone. Here's TC. Johnowich this afternoon 0 for 2. Lining out the right. Back in the second, striking out in the fourth. As Madison fires. Upstairs, ball 1. Tigers with only 1 hit. The grand slam from Dom Hurley last inning. Madison fires. TC sends a screamer off the net. Aces on the board for Tristan. Madison fires outside. 2-1 now to TC. Gavin is on deck. Gavin started it all last inning, getting on base. Madison fires. TC chops one. It's going to be a real tough play. TC's going to have an infield hit. Second hit of the afternoon for the Tigers.
Next up, first baseman, number 2, Gavin Hall.
Here's Gavin, 1 on, 1 out. Gavin 0 for 1. Drew a walk. Scored a run last inning off the grand slam. Madison fires. Outside. Strike. 0-1 to Gavin Hole. Madison fires. Same location, 0-2. I think the scoreboard got it wrong. I think Blue called the first pitch a strike. Let's see if he corrects it, if it stays the same. 1-1. We'll take it. I swear he called the first pitch a strike. Nonetheless, that's strike 2. So that was a strikeout, so I was correct. First strikeout for Madison. I don't know what's going on, folks. 2 gone. It's Gavin. Goes down on strikes. Here's Parker.
Next up for the Tigers, left fielder, number 9, Parker Salsi.
Parker this afternoon, 0 for 2. Had a sac bunt that moved Gavin over last inning. Madison fires. Parker swings and misses, strike 1. Don't forget, 5 o'clock, folks, we're headed to Jesuit Prep. Tigers and Jesuit, second game of the day for the Tigers here in the 5-tool invitation. Madison fires. And that hit Parker 2 on now for the Tigers. Third HBP of the afternoon for the Scots. And that brings up Asher Watts. Two on, 2 out. Watts today, 0 for 2, both strikeouts. Now Parker's going to head out. Jack Tyndall's going to come in. It looks like Jack is going to pinch run. So TC at second base, Jack Tyndall at first. With Asher Watts up to the plate. 2 outs here in the Tigers' 6th. And Watts with a nice cut, strike 1. Madison looks back at second base at TC, does it again. Fires the 0-1. And a screamer hit right to the first baseman, Siegler. And that ends the Tigers' 6. Tigers leave 2. Still 4-0 Tigers as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Hutchinson, Schultz, pitcher, all due up for the Scots in the 6th inning. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
It's been a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 826,000 high school student athletes in Texas have one last request.
Please, set an example.
Disorderly fan conduct at high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Texas high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
So Jack Tyndall comes in. He's going to replace Parker Saucy out in left field. Everything else stays the same. 4-0 Tigers here in the bottom half of the 6th. And the third baseman, Hutchinson, will lead it off for Highland Park. Braden hands in for his 3rd inning of work. Both Tigers pitchers look tremendous this afternoon. And here is Hutchinson.
Leading off on the Scott's bottom of the 6th. Third baseman number 8, Isaac Hutchinson.
Hutchinson 0 for 1. He drew a walk back in the first. Braden's first pitch, strike 1. Oh and 1 to Hutchinson. He's already back in the box. Braden is ready as well. The 0-1. And that's popped up, fouled, and out of play. Nearly hit a car. That was as close as we've gotten this afternoon. 0-2 to Hutchinson. Braden fires. And Hutchinson hits one high and far in the right field. Jason Steele's right there and grabs it for the first out in the 6th inning. One gone, and here is Schultz. The designated hitter 0 for 2 in the afternoon. And Braden fires. And that is upstairs, ball 1. Braden with the 1-0, fires. Schultz pops one up. That is high in the air. And Asher grabs it in foul territory for the second out. 2 gone. And here's second baseman pitcher. 0 for 2 on the afternoon.
Next up, second baseman, number 21, Ethan, pitcher.
Braden hands. His first pitch to pitcher goes down to strike 1. Nice pitch, Braden. 0-1 to pitcher. Braden looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the afternoon. And that's chopped right past TC for a base hit. Third hit of the game for the Scots. Here is the first baseman, Siegler. 1 for 2 in the afternoon. 1 on, 2 outs. Here in the Scots, 6. Braden fires. That is outside. Ball 1. And Braden tosses it back to first. And pitcher slides in. 1-0 count to Siegler. And that's hit right to Connor. Connor flips it over to Trey to end the inning. Scots leave 1. It is 4-0 Tigers as we go to the top of the 7. Top of the order. Taylor Tracy, Jason Steele, Dom Hurley, all coming up for the Tigers in the 7th inning. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
Are you worried how 2020 has impacted your teen's social development? We are too. Want to know what might help? Participating in the performing arts in high school. It's been hard being a teenager recently. Hard to cope, hard to keep up, hard not to feel like you're missing out. Everything's different and nobody knows what's next. Encouraging your son or daughter to participate in performing arts can really help. Those are high school activities like band, orchestra, choir, theater, speech, and debate. They'll make new friends, develop confidence, and feel the satisfaction of being part of a team. Participation in the performing arts aren't a cure-all, and they certainly won't make the pandemic go away. But they will make the teenagers in your family feel like they're part of something special. This message presented by the NFHS and the Texas University Interscholastic League.
Top 7. Taylor Tracy to lead it off. 4-0 Tigers. Tigers baseball on Vype Live at the 2025 5-Tool Invitational. And here is Taylor. Taylor's 0 for 2 with a run scored. He was hit by a pitch in that 5th inning.
Leading off for the Tigers, top of the 7th, number 13, Taylor Tracy.
Taylor 6 for 8 on the season so far. And Hutchinson back in. Madison back in. And that's strike 1. Madison in for his 2nd inning of work. Madison fires. Taylor hits one. That's popped up real high. Should be routine. And it is caught by Flashnick for the first out of the 7th inning. 1 gone. Here's Jason Steele.
Next up, right fielder, number 15, Jason Steele.
Steele this afternoon 0 for 1. Drew a walk in the first. Hit by a pitch. Drew a walk in the 5th. Hit by a pitch in the first. And he scored that run in the 5th off the grand slam. Madison fires. Upstairs, ball 1. And Madison fires. Out caught the inside corner. And aces on the board for steal. Ball in the strike and 1 out. Madison fires. And that is upstairs, ball 2. 2-0 to Jason Steele with Dom Hurley on deck. Madison fires. And that's chopped up high and looks like it's going to go foul, and it is. So 2-2 now to Jason. Steele steps back into the box. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 gone in the 7th. Madison fires. And that missed, full count on Jason. Full count and the payoff from Madison. And that's going to go into the outfield for a base hit. And Jason Steele has his 2nd hit as a Tiger. One on, 1 out for Dom. Dom 1 for 3. But the 1, a grand slam. Madison fires. Dom hits 1. That is high and far, and that's going to go foul. That would have been number 2 if it didn't go just left for the foul pole. Oh, 1 to Dom Hurley. Jason Steele is at first. 1 gone here in the 7th. Madison fires. And that's outside. Aces on the board for Dom Hurley. Madison, the 1-1. He fires. Jason stays right there. 2-1 to Dom Hurley. Dom steps back into the box. Madison checks over at Steele. Madison fires. Jason takes off. And Jason Steele's going to have a steal on base. Yoder couldn't come up with it. So Jason now at second base. And a 3-1 count to Dom Hurley. Three balls and a strike. Madison, 2 checks over at second. Dom hits 1 in the right field for a base hit. Here comes Jason. He's being waved in. And Jason Steele comes in. 5-0 Tigers. 5th RBI for Dom Hurley. Here's Trey. 1 on, 1 out still. Trey showing bunt. That goes outside. 1-0 to Trey Perry. Tigers was no hit for 4 2/3 of this game. Trey hits 1 in the left. And that's caught by True for the 2nd out. Two gone, and here's Connor. Connor's 0 for 2 in the afternoon. He did draw a walk back in the fourth. Madison fires. Connor, checked it. Picked up by the third baseman and retires Connor to end the inning. But the Tigers, indeed, picks up another run. 5-0 Tigers as we go to the bottom of the seventh. 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up. Curtis, Ritchie, and Yoder for the Scots. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
Meet Josh.
Hi, everybody.
Josh is a high school basketball player, solid shooter, great teammate.
Hey, don't forget my tenacious D.
And he's my son.
Oh.
So, what does Josh do to be the best basketball player he can be?
I play tennis.
Studies show that student athletes here in Texas who play more than one high school sport are more likely to excel. Tennis does more than improve Josh's conditioning. It gives him a fresh competitive outlet, reduces the risk of injury by cross-training, and introduces him to different coaching techniques and new friends.
Don't get me wrong, hoops are my first love. Tennis just gives me a little break.
So when the new season begins, Josh isn't burned out on basketball. He's eager to play, and you can see the difference in his game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Braden Hands comes in to close it out for the Tigers. Save opportunity out of the door, but Braden has pitched fantastically today. Tigers with 5 runs off of 4 hits, 1 error. Scots, no runs, 3 hits, 1 error. And here's the center fielder, Curtis. Curtis today, 0 for 2. And strike 1 to Curtis to begin the 7th inning. Curtis struck out in the 2nd, popped up to short in the 4th. Braden fires, and that's strike 2 after Curtis went swinging. No 2 count on the center fielder. And Braden fires. And that's outside for ball 1. The 1-2. Braden fires. And that's floated right center. That may drop down. And Taylor Tracy's led. Nope. I got it. First out of the 7th inning. Here's Moorhead coming in to pitch in the 8 hole. Strike 1 to Moorhead. This is the 3rd hitter in this spot in this game for the Scots. The 8 hitter spot, 0 for 2 this afternoon. Strike 2 to Moorhead. Braden a pitch away from his 3rd strikeout of the day. Braden fires. Missed but barely. 1-2. Braden has yet to give up a walk. The 1-2. And that's fouled off the net. Count remains 1-2. And that's popped up. And grabbing it is Jason Steele once again. And the Scots are down to their final out. Here is Yoder. And Braden's first pitch, strike 1. This holds up. Braden's going to come out with the win The 0-1. Strike two. Tigers strike away for winning their first game of the Invitational. And the 0-2. Braden fires. And he missed outside. 1-2. Braden, the 1-2, fires. That's chopped. Nice grab, TC. TC fires on the first. And it goes past Gavin. Gavin drops his gloves. Hopefully he's not hurt. Could be an argument for runner's interference. And now Coach Payne's going to go check on Gavin Hole. What a grab by TC. The concern right now is on Gavin Hole. Gavin's going to shake it off. Stay in the game. We're back to the top of the order. And Flashnick. Braden fires. First pitch. Low and inside. Ball one.
Shortstop number 2, Cole Flashman.
Fourth hit of the game for the Scots. And Braden, the 1-0, fires. That's outside, 2-0. The 2-0. Braden fires. That's chopped. That's going to be a tough play for TC. TC grabs, picks it up, fires. And the runner is now in trouble. The only reason why Yoder was able to get back to third safely because TC ran over to grab the ball. Because Yoder at that point was lunch meat. Nonetheless, infield single for Flashnick. Back-to-back singles for the Scots.
Next up, left fielder number 3, Mark True.
Here's True. True is 1 for 2. Drew a walk in the first, single in the third, popped up to second in the fifth. Strike one for Braden Hands. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Braden trying to hold on to the shutout. Braden checks back at first. The 0-1. That's hit in the center field. Taylor Tracy is right there, and the Tigers have won their first game of the Invitational. 5-0 is the final.
High School Festival. Final score, Griffin Springs 5, Highland Park 0.
And the Tigers, with a great start to their Invitational, as they go to 1-0 on the weekend. Post game coming up in just a bit. Tigers win 5-0. You're watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
5-0 Tigers with a fantastic win here in game number 1 of the 2025 5-Tool Invitational. Winning pitcher today, Braden Hands. Braden, 4 innings pitch, giving up 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, no walks, no runs given up for Braden Hands. Taylor Tracy, 3 innings pitch, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, only 1 hit given up. Player of the game, Dom Hurley. Dom, 2 for 4, 5 RBIs, including the grand slam that happened back in the 5th inning. And the Tigers starts off 5-0 over Highland Park. So, folks, we are not done. In about 2.5 hours, Jesuit Prep is the next opponent for the Tigers down at Jesuit Prep. For my Q8 this afternoon, Shane Sawinski and the rest of our Vype crew, I'm Melvin Jones saying good afternoon from Highland Park. Folks, I will talk to you in about 2 hours, and you have been watching Tigers Baseball on Vype Live. Peace.